Okay,
got
let's
it.
see what this thing's about. The mystic hum of the spire pulses to the cadence of your heart. The ancient structure awaits your command. There's still so much that doesn't make sense. The spire has been linked to you since you led the defense of Ascension Hall. Perhaps now that we're under attack once again, the spire's true purpose is shown? The air ripples with heat and the spire's hum, a low chanting of your name echoes through your head. I'm not sure who's actually in control here. Is the spire enhancing my powers, or am I fueling the power of the spire? Your mind drifts to bygone days and past events, along with the rush of memories you know as your own, comes at a surge of images, voices in pangs of joy and sadness, either long forgotten or remembered by someone else. Cloying weight of granite over your head, pressing slabs of gneiss against your chest. These memories of care now live in your mind, as does the recipe of his undoing. Of his memories now? Pinpricks of electricity spark behind your eyeballs, and the slightest breath in your breath in fills your lungs with a rush of moist air. You move to brush rust and bronze dust from your skin, only to realize the sensation is just a phantom itch of the blade grave. They say only the Overlord can create an edict. It has never been clear if the Overlord can destroy an edict, and when an edict is resolved, what becomes of the colossal quantities of mystic energy bound into said edict. You know, it just occurred to me that if you're knocked off, who's going to be able to talk to the spire after you die? Can you, like, tell it to listen to me after you die? Does it work like that? The edicts you've encountered crowd into your immediate memory. Whatever splinter or fragments of the edicts you helped to resolve have taken root, flowering into your mind as intuitive understand. Kyrus's edicts make sense to me. This spire can amplify my voice and my power. You're certain of this? Well, we're about to be surrounded, so now's a good time as any to test your delusion of grandeur. The sensation of power that was at first a pressure in your lungs now surges with each beat of your heart. All of the tears look upon the spires and think of you. Their fear, their admiration, their terror. With the spire, all of this can be harnessed and used to your purposes. I can't have been the first person to mess with this device. You feel her presence standing adjacent to you in space, but centuries from you in time. For a moment she seems aware of you, or perhaps you're remembering her, speaking to someone standing in the very same spot. She speaks to the spire and the spire listens, echoing her words. And while she speaks with conviction, her words are not edicts. She lacks the understanding, the conviction. Images of a half-dozen figures swarm through your mind. All of them walked atop this ancient perch, and each discovered but a sliver of the spire's potential. There have been other visitors here before, but it seems none of them understand the spire as well as I. If someone had been up here, you'd think we'd have some history of it, but perhaps those who were up here went to great lengths to hide it. Not like anyone has activated this place the way you have. That would not have escaped notice. Why me? I lay claim to Ascension Hall. You hear your own voice echo in your mind. When the arcane currents of Kyrus's magic was set free, it was in this moment that the spire's old sigil of awakening, long covered by its prior occupants, was set ablaze by the arcane tempest. The spire knows you, but whether the meeting was by accident or design is unknown to both of you. The spires and the tiers are linked, but just how far does this connection go? Meditate and silence your thoughts. Where the Kyrus's edicts no longer churn, your voice echoes with power. Should you will it, the spire will resonate your voice across these lands, enacting a new edict of your own making. But not where Kyrus's edicts still hold sway. Seems Kyrus's edicts have some kind of mystic interference. Well, touch the resonator and concentrate. Select a region to view its current edict or to issue a new one. What? Could I do beneficial ones or something? That's where we currently are. Edict of Stone or Edict of Storms. Considering the chorus are coming, who can tend to focus on fire magic. Edict of Storms reduces fire magic skill. Cause a torrential rain plaguing the land. It requires power. Let's do it. That actually worked. How is it even possible? Having broken the edict, I seem to be able to recreate it, if in a limited fashion. So you've absorbed a fragment of the Overlord's magic, perhaps? There's a reason I don't deal with arcane nonsense. I'm as baffled as you are, but what you're saying is as probable as a guess as any. Our binder just proclaimed edicts, broken them too. Just defeat the invaders. Yes. Oh wow. Damn. Some got in. Death knell. A gang of rain-soaked Scarlet Chorus trails behind Death knell. A mixture of awe and confusion resting upon their faces. What foul trick are you playing, such that the weather comes to your aid? Reputation. Many of the soldiers hesitate to move forward, their eyes transfixed on you, their legs shaking. Some appear soaked in the pantaloons with wet stains of fear. Fools, did you not hear me proclaim that edict? Either I cast that edict by myself, or did so with the Overlord's blessing. Do not liken yourself to the Overlord. Your magic may have startled my weaker troops, but your magic is nothing my own blood chanters could not affect.
Heads up.
Let's go. How about we add some more storm?
We have company.
Does that not affect us? Yes.
On it.
Time to change weapons.
Let's do the buff. That needed.
Bravely.
Are you afraid of death, worm?
Take that.
Timber and ride for Beast Woman.
I got it.
Oh, don't pursue them out of the citadel. Let those who have survived the edict and our blaze live to spread the word of our deeds. Wow, the rabble was downright terrified by your edict, and panic has claimed the giant mob. I almost feel sorry for the chorus warriors who were brave enough to stand their ground and fight us. You ought to travel back up to the spire, get a view of our glorious aftermath from high up. I'm sure you'll enjoy seeing the enemy flee the valley. Wow.
Will do.
Oh god, that lightning strike was inside here. Look.
Sorry, I can't.
Wow. It's badass. Badass. Can we like turn that off now though? It's at the end of the chapter. Shocked and demoralized by your display of power and the ease with which you dispatch their leader, the Scarlet Chorus fighters lose their nerve and scatter in defeat. The survivors carry with them fearful murmurs of the powerful Archon Zaharias, a being of enormous might who can cast an edict with the same authority as the Overlord. Confusion sets in across the realm amidst the whispers and misinformation. One fact remains consistent. The Overlord's power has been challenged. You safely assume that such rumors are making their way back to Kairos. The high winds of your edict sweep the air, dashing debris against your spire. Torrential rain falls, hitting hard enough to bruise bare skin. Lightning strikes the ground, endangering anyone out in the open. It isn't long before the storm begins to wane, slowly falling from a gale to a light rainstorm, and after a few days it becomes a simple breeze. Eventually, the skies calm as your edict dissipates, releasing Benjamin's well from its grip. You gather a small council of your closest allies and plan your next steps on the safety of your spire. No sooner do you get started than Callio, Fleetbinder of Tunon, pays a visit, bearing an important message. So that only lasted a few days compared to Overlord's actual edict. Fleetbinder Callio. What did I do to earn a visit from a Fatebinder? After what you just pulled, I would have wagered my last ring that Kairos would cast a very selective edict against you. But alas, the Overlord has other plans in mind. They all say you spoke an Edict of Storms, not a proclamation of an Edict of Kairos, but your own Edict of Storms, your own mystical storm. You're no mere Fatebinder, of that much we can be certain. You've proclaimed and broken the Overlord's edicts perhaps one too many times. If I had known you could do this when I first met you, I'd maybe have tried in earnest to kill you. I hope for the sake of Tyrannus that the right person has inherited this gift. I don't know what to make of you, Fatebinder, proclaiming and breaking the Overlord's magic, claiming these awful towers. Should come as no surprise that an edict is within your grasp, but I still find room for surprise. You're powerful in ways that gang bosses and mages aren't. You commanded this place to do your bidding, and unleash something incredible on the world. That isn't the work of a Fatebinder. If anything, it's the work of an Archon. Beastmen will follow Alpha from here to ends of Tyr's lands and farther still. Will prowl deep in cold north, hunting armies of Kairos at Alpha's side. Together Shadowhunter and Alpha will sort the whole of Prima's tribe. I don't have any idea how you're able to do this, Fatebinder, but it isn't power that any scholar can wield. This is something else. You're not some ambitious hedge mage who learned it out of a book. You're more like an Archon, where it just comes naturally. So I'm a Fatebinder and Archon. I genuinely didn't know it. I had it in me. It's only natural to have doubted yourself. The edicts have always been the magic of Kairos and Kairos alone. Anyone claiming to be able to cast an edict would be presumed crazy. And yet, a sane man watching what you just did would see the power of the Overlord in your voice. Curious. Suppose you've no reason to play the fool. I'll say that however it is you came into this power, know that you've drawn the attention of the Overlord, so congratulations, I think? I come bearing orders direct from the Overlord. Kairos has decreed two things. First, the Overlord has demanded that one and only one Archon is fit to rule the Tiers. To that end, the Archons are to settle through death or dominance who is the one Archon fit to inherit the Tiers. So the Overlord wants even more civil war? Oh, it gets better than that. She tosses a small bit of metal your way. Sir Brooch of the Overlord. Kairos has decreed you has decreed you are the newest Archon. So the other Archons now have orders to control or destroy you, and the other way around. See, this is why I try to avoid getting Kairos' attention. And to be clear, this is a command from Kairos, but not an edict? Correct. There's no edict backing this order. Such encouragement hardly seems necessary when the task is its own reward. The Archons may kill and maim each other without breaking any laws. Kairos knows, rightly so, that enmities, new and old, will drive the Archons to mutual destruction. What of the court? Have you heard what Chunon and Bled and Mark think of this? As per usual, Chunon is the emotional rage of pumice, but Bled and Mark seems almost giddy. I think the old shadow is already putting names on his daggers. I was wondering if Bled and Mark would hear this order and promptly stab Chunon, but no. It would seem the Arcano Shadow is happy to serve Chunon. Makes sense. I've never known the old shadow to crave that kind of power. You'll have to deal with them too, and I fear greatly for how that will turn out. I imagine Chunon is too loyal to bow to you, and Bled and Mark too proud to accept you as its better. So deal with them too. Okay. Oh wow, I thought it just meant Grave and Ash and the voices of Nurat. Okay, I know what comes next. The other Archons will bend to my will or die. First step is deciding you won't bow to one of the other Archons. I wish you the best of luck in your upcoming struggle. Know that when you come for Bled and Mark and Chunon, I and the other Fatebinders won't interfere. Let's keep one thing clear. I want no part of this little contest, Fatebinder. Sorry, Archon. I bow to you. The rest of you madmen can fight over the right to rule this mountainous shithole. I accept, Siren, thank you. Just don't let Nirak get away with the bat of the eyelashes and a polite surrender. She's an Archon too. She's just like, nope, I'm ready to serve you. The question me and the other binders have been asking, can you do this again, Zaharias? None of all believes in you, and another who shall remain nameless takes a more cynical stance that the Overlord has a hand so far up your ass she can puppet your mouth? And you couldn't cast a second edict if you tried. Me, I think you have it in you, or at least I like the idea of proclaiming an edict of yours someday. Now that you mention it, Calio. Curiosity demands we try having you proclaim an edict of mine. Are you serious? You'd let me do that? Sure, what's the worst that could happen to us? Lantry, take a dictation, please. Oh, wow. Dress a proclamation against the Chorus headquarters or the disfavored fortress. Steal with the Chorus, or the disfavored. Against the Chorus headquarters. Let's proclaim another Edict of Storms. With the edict complete, Callio approaches the edge of your spire and, with as much projection as her voice can muster, reads aloud your edict. And nothing happens. Callio slumps her shoulders with a disappointed whimper. Well, it was worth a try. Perhaps you must use your own voice. Or perhaps there's some other key ingredient in writing them down for others to proclaim. In truth, I'm a bit relieved. When you rule Tyratus, Zaharius, look me up. If you're successful, I know I'll be in need of a new Archon to serve. When I rule the world. So, Kairos has ordered all the Archons to fight it out until only the strongest remain? I think we can now safely say that the Scarlet Chorus philosophy has been vindicated. Barrack murmurs under his helmet. Alpha is better than Beast Woman Archon, slaughtered by Mark of Shadows. There was a Beast Woman Archon? And one last thing. All this talk of you being a second coming of the Overlord, and I almost forgot my duties. This is a court summons from Bled and Mark, Tunon's assassin. I suggest you read it carefully as part of your preparations. Your survival may depend on it. Good luck, Archon. Lantry, I found something interesting in these chronicle fragments. When you have a moment, perhaps you can indulge my curiosity? First, I know you've got a thing or two on your plate, but if you could make some time for me, a little bird has brought us some interesting news. I'd hate to have to go stabbing people without you. Binder Zaharius, our scout spotted his favoured forces marching on Lethian's crossing. The decree from Kairos was to put a fire under Graven Ash. I bet my spear wants the town's iron under his control. Ah, damn. Okay. We need to gather our forces and strike back. Call a meeting of the coalition. Bleeden Mark, I will only ask once. Kid, I take it you're aware of the Overlord's latest decree. If not, let me give it to you straight. Now's a bad time to be an Archon in the tiers. Since most likely I'll be the one to cut you down, I thought I'd first explain. It's not my choice. But if it was, I'd still choose to kill you. See you soon. Arrange a meeting. If I'm to die by your hand, Bleeden Mark, I would prefer it to be in battle, face to face, or would that be face to shadow? Regardless, at the risk of depriving you the thrill of a good ambush, I would ask that we meet in person as peers, drawing blades openly. If that's what it's come to. On the reverse of this parchment, I've mapped for you a location in the wilderness. Let us meet and settle things there. I'll provide you 2 days to scout the location in advance should you require. To use the power, but power to go back up. Junon has summoned you to his court to stand trial for your actions in the tiers. Sure that's a good idea. Hey Binder, let me get something off my chest. I burn inside. When I dance, it's like I'm trying to let out the fire to quench it in blood. Instead, just end up stoking the flames. Shit, did that make any sense to you? I think I follow. I've always had such a strong connection to my Furies. That bond made me feel, I don't know exactly, like part of something. Now it feels like they're in me. They rise up when I dance, each time a little more restless. When we were going after Crocus and Irissa, I could almost hear them, like they were whispering to me, tugging from somewhere deep. And even I can't deny that all of this sounds a lot like, you know, him. The voices of Nurat. Yes. Absorbed them and their memories. The thought alone that I could be anything like him makes me want to flay myself. He's a parasite, you're a predator. Now he's a parasite, sure, but that wasn't always true. Maybe it starts with the killing, but eventually you've got others doing the killing for you. That's how Archons are made, right? And the overlords. Worried about him? All the time. In the end, either he hollows you out or finds something worse to do with you. Sure, he can rip people's thoughts away, but what about the slower, more insidious stuff, like how he fashions his eyes? I guess that's what worries me. He's already made me his eyes on you. What if he wants to make me his eye, too? If you don't want to turn into him, don't be like him. And what exactly are you suggesting? Be stronger than him. Gain loyalty. That's the dream, right? Now that we just need it 1,000 years, some artifacts of immense power, an expansive information network, and the largest army the Tears has ever seen. One more thing before I call it a day, Fatebinder. After we spoke to Essa, I slipped a scout some rings to keep an eye on the place and send word if anything out of the ordinary happened. Apparently there have been some strangers lurking about. I'd like to head back to River's Break, see if we can't grab one. Maybe dig a little knowledge out of him. But you know, not in a directly out of the head kind of way. I'll make it a priority. Thanks. Who knows, maybe we'll dig up something we can use against the Archons. Everyone wants to talk. Okay, being of a new chapter. Okay, Barrick.
I have come to regard knowledge as a kind of curse, and I better understand the Overlord's injunctions against too much of it. In knowing why my armor clings to me, I think I began feeling it grow into me. Has it buried itself deeper within me? Or do I imagine this? Kairos has ordered that the Archons determine a ruler of the Tears from among themselves. This is the time to go to Archon Ash, submit to him, and beg clemency.
Oh god, he's still so sworn Tash. Loyalty 4, Fear 4, so close to level 5 on both. I'm not doing that. I'll consider our options as they become clearer, Barrick.
I understand. Better to make a tactical decision with all available information at hand. Do not mistake hesitation for consideration, though. One reveals new paths forward. The other closes paths formerly available. I shall follow your lead, Archon. For now.
Speak with Grave and Ash about Barrick's condition, really? Kills in Shadow.
Alpha to kills in shadow smells good. Like mountain dew. Makes Beast Woman blood stir. Run hot hot. Makes Beast Woman want to hunt, bite, rot. Little Chitterbird has pledged to Alpha of Kills in Shadow. Is good for Chitterbird's chance of survival, but bad for Beast Woman's ears. Fatebinder wants Beast Woman? Blessed What else? Lead con...
Siren. Something bothering you, Siren? You seem sad.
No. Everything's fine, Archon. But I appreciate you asking. I've made some progress on that ancient musical score. I'm almost completely sure it's the same music I hear in that crystal we found.
You've made a breakthrough. That seems like that would be a good thing.
It's simply not what I was hoping for, I suppose. No matter. This music, I think it describes something fundamental. About magic, I mean. Or at least about the magic of the old walls.
Sounds like a pretty incredible thing to know about.
I guess. I mean, sure, it's something nobody else knows yet. Except maybe Kairos. Maybe not even. I'm certain that weaving this song into my own music will strengthen it. Or at least let more of my power slip through this stupid hat. Who knows? Maybe the old walls will hear my songs and then I'll be able to awaken spires too. Or sing edicts. Or both.
Your voice will shake the tears.
The tears? Don't underestimate me. I'll shake this whole ugly world. But truly, thank you for all of this. I'm indebted to you. I'll add my power to your cause, I promise.
Siren Loyal Ability, Song of Benediction. Songbird's Encore ability. Siren's Headdress. It's not like activated. We have like an artifact ability. Headdress is being bolstered by her power and understanding of the teachings left to her by the Archon of Stone. Resounding crescendo. Siren performs ancient music learned from the old walls and the passage of the Archon of Stone. Her voice rolls over the battlefield in waves, breaking the bones and scrambling the wits of her enemies. Enemies take a lot of crushing damage, are stunned for what are marked. It's easier for enemies to hit them, get critical hits. Requires 5 seconds before it occurs. But, oh. Siren's ability, Song of Benediction. Briefly suppress the power of Siren's headdress. Of her headdress. And Siren quickly rises into the air and unleashes a single note before the power of the crystal returns. Her magic clears a random negative effect on nearby allies and briefly protects them from similar effects. Friendly targets cannot be targeted by melee for 6 seconds. Just cannot be targeted or attacked. Wow. And everyone or your allies become immune to a bunch of stuff. Paralysis, stunned for a while. Wow. Okay, maxed out with kills in shadow. Not quite. It's gonna be on 5. Let's keep it for a little bit longer. Let's get them all above 5 loyalty. If we can. Versus quest, barracks quest. Other people want to talk. Talk to Ebb.
Hail, mighty Archon. Your newfound power runs in the face of what I thought I knew. All my life, I've been told Kairos alone can issue an edict. And yet, here you are, proclaiming mastery of the lands just like the Overlord.
You can choose to between his or her. No one knows Kairos' gender. I can replicate her powers, but I'm not just like the Overlord.
You mean his powers?
If I said his, would you not said them? Glare at Sirin, I mean her.
You say that now. Let's see if you still feel this way when the reality sinks in, and your mastery of this newfound power solidifies. The world now bows to your mere utterance. Each day you will grow stronger, while the world becomes weaker in comparison. Put another way, if I could do what you do, the world would be at the mercy of my depravity. Cursing the name of Ebb, Archon of Fecund Fluids. Let's hope your moral sextant isn't as crooked as my own. Your newfound power runs in the face of what I thought I knew. All my life, I've been told Kairos alone can issue an edict. And yet, here you are, proclaiming mastery of the lands just like the Overlord.
Perhaps there are others beside me in the
I
Overlord.
should certainly hope not. Tyrantus isn't large enough for Kairos, and it's certainly going to get very interesting if the two of you start waving your edicts to and fro.
I would have felt if someone else were proclaiming edicts. I knew when this one activated the Spire. From what I know of Kairos, the Fatebinder is definitely a wrinkle in some carefully laid plans.
If anyone has cast an edict other than Kairos in the last 431 years, I'm certain we would know. There would have been witnesses and evidence that outran Kairos' march west. Sages would have learned of it.
Your newfound power runs in the face of what I thought I knew. All my life, I've been told Kairos alone can issue an edict.
It's fortunate then that you
And
sworn
yet-
to me.
If watching you slowly descend into power-hungry madness is the definition of good fortune, I consider me blessed. Your newfound power runs in the face
Enough
of
about
what...
me.
What is it you need? Ask away.
Okay. Some fear. It's okay. Kind of want to gain some fear with all of them as well. Unlock the and do both at the same time. Just enough to get to that ability. And where is Lantry? Right there.
Not to steal your glorious day in the sun, but I must say, now all my notes on you are suddenly worth 10 times their weight in iron. My journals will melt the linens off the ladies, I tell you. What's that you say? Bucks of nubile lasses with an interest in old men who know history. You need a definitive tractatus on the trials and tribulations of the Archon of the Tears? Well, you're in luck. I think one can safely conclude that you have the Overlord's attention, and that of the Tears. Soon, all of Tyranny. You realize, I trust, I hope, that nobody other than Kairos has ever cast an edict until you.
Are you sure history hasn't just edited or forgotten those who could rival the Overlord?
Well, I have a hard time believing that someone would cast an edict and not have it noticed.
Yes, but maybe a rival casts the edict, Kairos kills the rival, and takes credit for the events.
Well, as of now, I've seen with my own eyes that the Overlord is not unique in this regard. And I suppose you're all the evidence I need to throw suspicion on the record. Now, if you are right, that implies the Overlord has no qualms silencing and murdering those who pose a threat. In your case, at least my written record of you might survive. See? I'm being optimistic.
And I'm sure right now Junon is hating himself for not executing me years ago.
The adjudicator will have to readjust his thinking, no doubt. His executioner has become far more dangerous than he could have foreseen. Can't wait to see the look on his mask.
Happy to know when Kairos first cast an edict?
Good question. In parts north, it's commonly held that Kairos' Edict of Dust was the first, but it was cast in the year 11. It was just the first edict to ripple across the whole of Tyranny. If you lived somewhere that used to have antelope, you probably think that's the first edict of the Overlord.
Is it over 450 years old or something? At least.
But here, the answer is given to us by the Overlord's own sense of posterity. Year 0 of Kairos' calendar is said to correspond to the day Kairos went from warlord to wearer of many crowns. A victory won when the first Edict of Storms shocked both the Cloud Barons and the realm of Medrev to capitulate.
Who are they? Antelope, is that an animal?
Yes, or it was at least, until they were all wiped out by the Edict of Dust. Or
What?
that's as best we've pieced it together from the records. From what we've gathered from their skeletons, they were some sort of mute beast man that ran on 4 legs.
Antelope are not like beast women. Antelope have hooves for fleeing. Beast women have claws for killing. Antelope don't eat meat, are spooked easily, are large but helpless, lumber but lack reason, are prey. Silverback tribe hunted antelope extinct. Old Ink Mystic tells many strange, stupid tales. Thinks to know everything.
I suppose I'm more of an expert in living things, like birds, and can't quite confirm or deny what you're saying, but Just forget I said anything.
It's also safe to assume Kairos will try to solve me in some fashion.
At the same time, if you really were a meaningful threat, you'd have already been the victim of an edict, or bled in Mark's daggers. So this has me rather curious. Just what does the Overlord wish to do with you?
Yeah. We'll find out soon enough. By the way, I found something of interest in the chronicle text we recovered from Bastard's Wound. Tell me what you discovered. Despite the madness of late, I've been finding time to read further. Well, I've been cleaning up the records, so to speak, and scouring the text for more creative changes. Anyway, Alexei left a lot of notes in the margins. And they led me to believe she stashed some tomes topside before she arrived at Bastard's Wound. You found a message? Back in the day, as it were, she and I had a shorthand for communicating in code. She mentions another hiding spot, but to decipher the directions exactly, I need a copy of Histories of Sunder revised. If my old cottage is still intact, I have a copy there. Can take us back to Lantry's old home. Okay. You need one more book so you can find one more book? You have a cottage? I thought sages lived in the Vellum Citadel. Oh sure, but most of us elder sages get persnickety and long for some solitude after decades cloistered with the others. Besides, I did field study, so I was rarely expected to be anywhere at any given time. A sage sent you away for field studies? They were probably just tired of listening to you blather on. Alexander and I commissioned duplicate manuscripts of Histories of Sunder revised, and with our identical copies created a sort of code. She's written several triplets of numbers, and they relate to page, paragraph, and words in the books. It only works if we have the exact same book. Just an hour or so with my old tome, and I could decipher the directions. What? Why? What? Why are we finding these books in the first place? Antrieb verse that everyone. Yeah. So what are we doing? Check on the Spire research. And do some companion quests then. So we visit the forge. What have we got first? Wallace. Commander's Plate. Authority. Swap positions with a companion, and you both receive some bonus till the end of combat. Inspired by the warlords of the north. The engravings in the pauldrons are fragments of an ancient battle poetry. Heavy armor artifacts. Oh, Barry can hold on to that. Can we finally get out of Barrick's back out of his armor? Well, we're level 16, 19, 16 to 19. Still not got you out of your armor. And then we start forging something else. These boots could be good to reverse. Staff of Cain? Artifact. +2 quickness. Evocation of Cain. Enemies in the target area take crushing damage and are petrified. Allies receive some buffs. Was fragment of Cain's right hand. Wait. It uses by accessory? Which provides 2 quickness and turns into a staff. Well, I've only got 1 accessory on. But my staff. Then I can equip a different accessory. Black and Dying Choker. Health -1% health every 3 seconds, but increased damage. Regenerating. +1% health every 6 seconds. Not quite enough to cancel that out. So I lose that, but I gain the stuff. With the boot, oh, I can't make the boots. We'll make these. I'll tweak these for now, just to gain a new artifact. Let's make all the artifacts.
On it.
Any research complete? Recipe for Vagrant's Chow. Food. Research edicts? What? Plus 15 scrolls. All 6 recruits. It only takes a short time. Plus 3 scrolls? 15? Sure, you do that. How do you... any training? Kills in shadow. What do we do with Sirin then?
Yes.
Should we just do lightning? I don't know. Still don't have the Dawning Spire. We still need to go to recruit the... sages. Just a trainer melee. Ew. Hell yeah. You know what to do for Siri.
Will
I'm
do.
training performance, but I'm not found train that does that. Maybe to the Aurora Spire. Wait, is that where we are? You got some hides from Hunter. Everything. Okay then, let's go talk to Ari again in Sinjin Hall. Tell him what our next action is before I go off. Let's do a proper save. Got a new missive, Blood and Mark. Kid, if I haven't said it before, I'll say it now. I'm going to enjoy killing you. And while I'd love to carve your heart out and feed it to the darkness in a remote spot in a shaded weald, and like you, I'm not dumb enough to act on a whim. Can't wait for the adjudicator's execution order. I'll be anticipating your arrival at the court. Should I leave going to visit Tuna until later? wonder if Ken ever suspected that the Overlord's power could be attained. This discovery may be the thing that defies our very uprising. Is that why Ken might have betrayed Kairos? Lethian's crossing is under attack. The disfavored march in great numbers. Graven Ash wants to reclaim his iron deposits to keep his army outfitted. The Legion will stop at nothing to take back its resources. They are far from the homeland and in need of every advantage. It'll be hard pressed to reclaim a single iron ingot from Lethian's crossing. Shut up, Barrick. That's just essentially every response. Insane. Responding with Barrick with anything he says. Just shut up, Barrick. Let's do that. More fear. Shut up, Barrick. My silence will bring a modicum of order to this dissident collective, then you'll have it. I didn't gain fear. Okay. Lethian's crossing will not fall while I live to defend it. Sort through our differences once we're victorious. If you think that winning is all it takes to make your allies more cooperative, I say you're in for a lifetime of disappointment. Fatebinder, have you anything else to tell your coalition? Your overlord has a new name. Me. This is our chance to strike back, to stand tall, and to show Kairos that we're no one's vassal. Travel to Lethian's Crossing. No, is that time? We speak to you. What about the stages?
I got it.
I don't know if that is timed or anything. Let's check. I didn't see it. Just make sure to save often. And doesn't seem like it is. Okay then, let's go do companion quests. Speak with Graven Ash about Barrett's condition. Isn't he the one marching on Lethian's Crossing? Okay. Travel to Lantry's stash site. I guess we're going to get Lantry in the party. Let's just get rid of Kills and Shadow for now. Got loads of loyalty with her now. Still need some more with Siren.
Greetings, Arca.
Anything on you first? I might want to speak on to other people for now. You can keep that. Should make sure to keep artifacts on everyone in their offhands, even if they're not using them, because it levels them up.
Greetings, Archon.
We'll wait for a short while.
Lantry.
I got it.
Mantry's hideaway. Okay then, let's go. Your journey is interrupted by a messenger from the mountain spire. A short young man with a lank flop of dark hair and a surprisingly full beard. The messenger bears bloodshot eyes and a nervous disposition. Courier tells you the Valley of Apex has been beset by an ever-increasing number of Bane ever since your edict. Oh. Inquire further. You press the messenger for more details. There have been Bane sighted throughout the valley, mostly around Vendrian's Well Citadel, where I cast it. They've been attacking travelers and livestock. Send orders back to the coalition. Lure them away. Request aid from your allies. You prepare a missive of your own, but which allies will you reach out to for aid? Court of Fate Binders. Really? Gained favor with Blood and Mark. Huh. You address your missive to Nunneval, Fatebinder of War in the Bastard City, and request his aid in the Valley of Apex. You note that normally you wouldn't tax the Adjudicator's agents with such a menial task, but you thought he might enjoy the opportunity to see his mettle set his mettle against the Bane. You suggest that Rogulus too may be interested in their study and could certainly add to the surety of a victory over the arcane horrors. In favour with the Vendrian Guard, Tunon in the court. I gained some wrath? No. No. But I gained some favour with Bledden. He was appreciative of your shrewd ways. Okay. Send favour to... Gonna have to deal with Bledden. I think he just follows. He's waiting for orders from Tunon though. And I can win over Tunon because he serves him. Back most of the talk. I can scarcely believe it. You proclaimed an edict. You wielded the power of the Overlord, and for a moment perhaps, but it wasn't enough to turn the tide of battle in our favour. That simply doesn't happen. The Overlord's magic is as unknowable as anything on Tyranny, as mysterious as, well, I was about to say as unapproachable as the spires, but you've certainly cleanly dispelled that notion. Yeah, this could only mean trouble for us. Kairos doesn't tolerate competition. No, indeed. I wouldn't want to stand in your place when the day of reckoning comes, but standing next to you might prove just as dangerous. What do you suggest I do? It may be too late to mend your ties with Kairos' hierarchy. If you continue to prove your worth, then perhaps you can be invited back into the fold. I suppose that Kairos needs some time for introspection, as do we all.
What can I do for you?
This is Lantry's cottage. Still learning this stuff.
Sorry, I can't. Sorry, I can't.
Uh-oh, Scarlet Chorus, I knew it. About time, do you realize how difficult it is to get your gang to just sit in ambush and wait? Without a daily rut or tussle, this motley is a stubborn bunch. Alright, princess, you owe me a debt of blood. Lantry. You come here in scarlet, whining about past debts. I owe you nothing, and now you're trespassing in the only corner of Tyranny I call my own. Kindly shuffle off, lest things get ugly. Princess? You disguise yourself as one, it becomes this reoccurring topic. You've outlived your usefulness.
Making friends.
I am your shield wall.
That song of benediction now?
See that? On it. Can't do that.
Pay attention, kids. You might learn something.
Come and face my iron.
Sorry, I can't. Right. On it.
Oh, curse my negligence. I was going to make ink from those leaves.
Nah, I assure you, I have a system for what goes where. Look at this mess.
Try bird watching from that desk. When you're older, you'll start... Oh, curse my negligence. I was going to make ink from those leaves. Greetings, Archon.
Who is it then? You. And there. These shelves contain countless numbers of scrolls organized in a way that can only be described as chaos. And Kairos is still here. Two hours pass and still Lantry has yet to finish his work. Find anything? Well, I've discovered this is a dreadfully slow way to communicate long sentences. I'm sure you were wondering which would happen first, me finishing this task of dying of old age. I'm pleased to report it's the former. While I have a set of instructions that will take me nowhere near any village or town I can think of. And that sounds like an ideal place to hide things. So, Lexim didn't know you'd be summoned to the wound, yet there wasn't a message for you in her works? Something doesn't add up. Well, yes, she and I have been writing these texts for years. His face turns deep red. I think she started leaving me this message before the war, and I'm coming across it maybe later than intended. Are you talking years? An idea what's hidden there? Not exactly. Something salvaged from the Citadel. How do you know this isn't a trap? Well, consider someone was waiting for me here. I can't rule it out, but we're deceptively competent in battle, so the joke will be on them, right? Are we done here? Indigo Fields is now unlocked. We're looking for a field of indigo.
Will do.
Travel to the indigo fields. For the north. Berry bush. These berries. Take a closer
Kairos
look.
be
Indigo.
praised, we found it!
Indigo berries. Hold on. I thought we were looking for another Chronicle stuff.
I don't recall specifying as such, but I see why you may have thought that. Only need a moment. This won't be like last time, where a moment means half a day. If my understanding is correct, these berries only need a little alcohol to make them absorb into the skin and cause you to bleed.
Cause what? A blue-stained hand reaches out and touches you by the wrist. A searing burn upon the surface of your skin quickly turns into spreading blissful warmth. Though his mouth moves to form words, nothing reaches your ears. The world begins to tremble as your breath expands to fill the whole of your body with vigor. Uh-oh. That's magical vision.
Oh, this takes me back.
It's a memory. Worked for the voices of Narat in the past. Are you seeing what I'm seeing?
Then we have a deal. You'll receive further instructions by way of missive. We will use a plethora of names when writing to you, but you will know us by our seal.
Five parts water, 2 parts red grape juice, 1 part ash. I'm still not convinced I can play the part. Considering how insular the school is, I don't see how any will trust me.
Oh, is this where he asked him to go back to the school? Did you dress up as a princess, or was that something else? This is when you made your allegiance with the voices.
Allegiance to the voices? So you must be seeing... Oh, which explains why I'm seeing... Oh, this is confusing. Wait, you already have someone there. How do I meet up with this person?
What did we tell you? Your first objective is to blend into the school. Besides, if our other sage is discovered and you're close, we lose you both. You have so much to learn about this craft.
Just how long ago did you and Lantry meet?
We could tell you that, but wouldn't it just be us telling you what you think we think the answer is? Lantry is one of many agents we seeded throughout the tiers years before this war. One can never plan too far in advance. And to answer your question, yes, all will be forgiven.
You still owe us Pelox Florian. Oh yeah, let him escape. Still mad about that? After everything else I've done, I just wiped out most of your army. And what will be forgiven?
Yes, my answer is yes.
We're going to have a beautiful future. Serve well, and you just might be a part of it.
And who is that? That's the other sage you met. Chiasmus. Chiasmus? It will be the third time I turn you down. Even the younger scribe learns that repeating a thing does not make it more true. Then what am I planning for a second archive? Pretend I'm wrong. Pretend Kairos isn't coming. A second vault would be rings well spent considering the school of ties and wild. Who are you? Sage Chiasmus, provost of the School of Ink and Quill. Our defenses rival that of the Sentinel Stand Keep, yet you would waste our efforts building for the day they fail. To make another library? The duplicate of all works. Guessing they regret that now. Do not worry, we are taking precautions. So the voices of Nerat wanted Landry to convince them to create a second library? Was that what? So so that they can like control that one, maybe? And then use this. This sage is a familiar face. It's Lexem. Though dressed in the tattered attire you saw her wearing, her features looked decades younger, and her face alight with the joy and energy you did not see in the sleepless Lexem of your own memories. Teaching him magic. Tried to follow along with Lexem's magical gestures. Lore. Your hands slowly trace the same patterns, your body still lagging from the berry's debilitating effects. Try as you might, you can't seem to work any magic from the gesture. Though you can conclude that, in theory at least, she would be casting a simple illumination spell. The last step of her hand gesture is unknown to you, and you're unable to mimic it with certainty. Really? I'm sure you say that to all the lasses your quill wants to do. Aren't you the one who says Kairos is some shadowy hunter that kills would-be Archons? If I'm as special as you insist, you best keep your lecture spout shut. Oh, it's amusing. Was she always good at spellcasting? An absolute natural. It's what I loved about her most. I know, sounds a little shallow. Like, I should have loved her for her personality. Or her breasts. Her magic just always made sense to her, and I found that skill and mastery to be arousing, for lack of a better word. I'm trying to be serious here. When the war starts, field study will get curtailed. I have a few cottages throughout the tiers we could hide. We could make our way into the mountains, use our magic to hide. Did you know the war would actually start, Landry? No, but in 426 I received enough hints to figure out just how little time we had left. He was a spy for the voices of Nero. He knew the war was coming. I want to be here when it happens to chronicle it. I would assume that's what you want as well. Is this the last time you saw her? Oh.
After all that, I think I need a stiff drink to calm the noises. How are you feeling?
Was it what you were hoping to experience?
Well, I don't know what I was expecting, honestly. I think I just wanted to talk to the Lexeme I remembered. And I figured that sublime intoxication might help me come to terms with her scheme to corrupt the truth for the greater good, or some such idealism. But I don't need to understand it fully. I just need to accept it.
So are you going to preserve her modifications?
Even though a little part of me will die inside, knowing I've allowed deceit to enter my once honest parchment.
I'm sure Lexem will be glad to hear of your decision.
Perhaps, but I'd rather she not know. I don't want to encourage and foster this notion, and if I'm being honest, I can't bear to see her so hapless and feeble. Not again. I want to remember her as I just saw her. Before the lies. I'm disgusted by my actions, and yet I'd do them all over again. I love Lexeme more than I love the Chronicle. That's all there is to it.
So I trust you. That means you're willing to adjust the Chronicle to speak well of me. I'm joking, of course.
Yes, a bit too soon for that. Well then, enough chatter for now. Let's be on our way.
Completed Landry's companion quest, Truth and Reconciliation.
Greetings, Archon.
Eat more berries this time around too. Say what happens?
I suppose I could try a little.
Are we convinced back?
1 second. Let me just add the secret ingredient.
Some alcohol.
You have fun. I'll be literally anywhere else, actively not thinking about what's happening here.
Ah, barracks. That. What's the guy sweeping? First tune on. And then rolling up. So pants. Oh wow. Cold chill up your spine shocks you back to your senses in a sabering instant. Companions stand around you, splattered in blue and purple berry juice, among other things. Hastily discarded clothing lay strewn about the scene. As the sobriety grips you all, clothing and gear slowly, sheepishly gathered up.
Perhaps it's best that we never speak of this again.
What just happened? High as the mountain spire. Share an uncomfortable moment with the party. Syrian doesn't count. Unequipped all our armor. Oh my god. And Syrian is gone. Oh my god. Oh god. What did we have? Wait, where's my staff?
Finally, I get to use something older than me.
What happened to my staff? No, said Sunlance. But I can equip both of them. Artifacts. Oh man, if I unlock more slots, I can just equip all the artifacts. You can just use them all. Oh. We should do that and get that leadership ability. I don't know what the hell stuff. I don't think we had a great one. Staff of Titans. We don't have a special one. Real Frost. I think that might have been it.
Yes.
Syrian literally just like goodbye to base or something. Right, let's do Versus Quest. Should we talk to Syrian?
Good day, Fatebinder. It's always nice to see you. What do you need? Well then, let's go.
I'll tack homeward. See you there.
I will return to our holdfast at once. Greetings, Archon. How may I assist? I am nothing if not a semi-rep. I know.
Thus, are you trying to piss everyone off, or do you just do this for fun? I'm not judging either way, I'm just curious. Casting an edict on Vengeance Well is a good way to shine a beacon on yourself, or paint a target. I saved your skin though, didn't I? Sure did, for now. Like I said, I'm not trying to prod you or suggest you made the wrong call. As someone who likes to stay discreet until she has the opening to strike a killing blow, I find your little public gesture of dominance, well, quaint. Charming, in a dumb way.
At your service, Fatebinder. What do you need? Point me in the right direction. I'll... Got them in my sights. Hey, this looks fun.
Swap penumbra. I thought we just got another artifact dagger. Oh, I have that on him. Let me give you that. Wow, harm's way. Plus 1% bonus damage for every 1% missing health. But your own missing health. Why do I filter for artifact items?
You got it.
Well, all of them are listed here. There's Penumbra. Circular reason are given to the Lantry. Heart's blood I have.
On it.
Research complete. Do versus quest. So those alchemist clubs are complete. Acquire 10 artifacts. Overkill. Oh my god. I got the bloodthirsty glows. Pretty good. And you got those. Put them on you.
Oh, I can't wait to try this out.
Wow, you're just
I
glowing.
suppose I can do that.
This blue energy around you.
I got it.
And then make something else. So we need obsidian for that. I'll make this. Should we make this stuff? Do get an extra cool ability too. But I lose the accessory. Can I do it? Let's do it. Let's go for it. Training grounds and the library. Diversity to train.
Will do.
There's all shops. Best has got 25 levels of training to do. Let's go to the training tower. So when a master dual wield trainer. Who is that? There you go. Up to all the way to 150 now. Wow. Oh my god, just 25 times. Level 18. Just over 18 and a half right now. Oh my god.
Don't know about
No,
you, but I
20
feel
and a
like
half.
fighting someone.
Holy shit. With the highest level out of all of us now.
You got it.
216 accuracy. Oh my god. What's everyone else's? 142, 132. First is gonna fuck all the enemies up now. You finally unlocks your final 7,000 points. Your final sweeping death. A spinning flourish striking nearby enemies, causing bleeding. Foe AoE bleeding. Dual wield. Let's go. It's 15% extra. And then skirmisher, tree, bow and arrow. Let's get a burst of dodge. Launching arrows to the enemies in fires. What about the bow? Any other non-bow stuff? Generic stuff? Just 10 accuracy. Just moves faster. Dual wield and athletics. Here we go. First attacks all nearby foes and vanishes, appearing next to a target, and leaving behind a spiritual remnant of one of her Scarlet Fury sisters, like an illusion. Yeah, they're like part of her now. Summon one of them. Interesting. What's the final one? They're just arrows. Yeah, bow and arrow. Damage against targets affected by damage over time. Fire arrows and mutative fire, burning and bleeding. We start training her in bows then. If dodge is greater than power, use dodge to avoid melee attacks. Oh wow, I could have just focused on one thing then. Oh wow. I could just respec her and just could have done that. So do any parry. Extra dodge. With chance to reflect ranged grazes. So ranged attacks that have just hit you. But not direct. Taunt enemies. Most of this is bow and arrow though. Damage over time, extra 15% damage against enemies affected by the dots. I set them on fire like all the time, so that's awesome. Look at that. An ability that set targets on fire with a bow. Could potentially use that, but I don't know. To then get the dot bonus. 10 accuracy, extra XP. Immunity to burning herself. Let's do that for now, and then if dodge is greater than parry. It's 10 accuracy, it's quite a lot. XP. $231.
On it. I got it.
And then the library is the first one. Wait a minute, that's since it's Spire. So how going here I don't trigger that quest? I've seen Latin's crossing, so hopefully this should be fine. You even noticed though. Can you research for me? Research about the Edict of Malediction. What? They found a ritual that may give insight into how Kyrus commands powerful edicts. This information will unlock the precise wording of a previously unknown edict. What? The Malediction Edict is now available. And some other drug. Just found some ancient scrolls on edicts. Where do you find that? Tell me more. So I mean, edicts are not originally Kyros's? Or what? What does that do? The Edict of Malediction will twist the strands of fate, causing misfortune and bad luck to plague your enemies. Wow, it's just all positive for us, and all negative for the enemy. Awesome. Plus 15 to all skills and increase hit chance. The balance of fates is shifted for all those within the region. Party gains will a bonus, foes have a penalty. Ah, that's cool. Takes up power. We didn't regain power after the last edict, so I guess we should.
Will do.
Spam those. Anyway, we shall do a proper save and stop there, and we'll do a versus quest tomorrow.